Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a quick peek over here at Luna, see what's going on, and just jump over to Bitcoin first as well, just so you kind of understand that it's not bad shape at all. Yesterday we had this bullish, interest here. Basically, we had this little bull flag where the price shot up. Of course, it sold off ever since, and then ramped up and sold off again. So we're seeing some sporadic behavior from Bitcoin, but the key takeaway here is that it doesn't want to drop anywhere lower than 56,000, which is good. That is effectively considering itself as a support level, and this channel between 56 and 58 appears to be also pretty consistent. So we'll probably see the price kind of trend in that direction for a little while longer. Hopefully see it break up towards 58 to 60,000, and then of course break 60 eventually. But just note 60,000, between 60 and 61,000 is a very strong resistance level. Got a tremendous amount of volume accumulation. We've got the 200-day simple moving average kind of hanging out there, as well as the 50 on the 1 day. Kind of reaffirming that as a potential resistance, right? So we'll see what happens here soon, but my speculation is the next couple of days, we're probably just going to see some 56 to 60,000 up and down pretty much the remainder of this week. That's what it looks like it's shaping up to be here. So just heads up on that. Not bad, not great. It is what it is, right? It's much better than it was before when we were down at 53.5, right? So all's well in that sense. The only problem is it's messing up a lot of open positions we have, and made a lot of the TA from yesterday kind of almost irrelevant. But sometimes that happens when Bitcoin decides it wants to drop 5% in an hour. That tends to scare a lot of people out of their altcoins. Anyways, enough about that. Just know I'm not a financial advisor. Okay, this is for educational purposes. I love teaching people how to become better traders. I have a trading group if you want to check that out in your own time. Link in the description below. We actually have open enrollment tomorrow, as a matter of fact, through Patreon. So check that out. See if that might be something you want to do. I have a lot of people on the wait list right now, so just bear in mind there may not be a lot of slots available. So taking a look here at the 1 day chart here for Luna, right? What we're going to be doing is just working our way down from top to bottom. So we've got the 1 day candlesticks here, of course, and we can see 3 very strong days here recently. We are still above the 50-day simple moving average. We are up over 50, but under 70 on the RSI. Basically tells us we have plenty more room for growth. So Luna is essentially doing very well right now. And we're going to look at a smaller time frame to kind of identify how it's responding to the support and resistance levels created by the previous all-time high, see how that works. But obviously it looks like it's holding very well above. And oftentimes I like to try to invest right above the all-time high once it's established as a support. It should likely have been established as a support so far, but we'll see here soon. And we can kind of see that right there. Taking a look, first of all, at the moving averages. We got this golden cross coming up here where the price intersects upward essentially with the 50 to the 200, creates kind of an interesting push in the upward direction. So we're almost there. We could be experiencing this based on that sentiment alone, but key takeaway here is that Bitcoin is just doing all sorts of sporadic behavior, and Luna is just holding strong, doing its own thing. When you can identify coins that become independent of Bitcoin, that's the time in which you want to embrace that, right? Keep in mind, there's only times, these times come and go, right? So that Luna is not for sure definitely going to march to the beat of its own drum forever. Eventually it'll become synonymous with Bitcoin again, right? Once it becomes over exaggerated, etc. We've seen that with a lot of other coins. Unfortunately, some of the gaming coins are starting to adopt that same philosophy. But Luna right now is obviously doing very well, and we can see that these are very healthy pushes. We got this nice little consolidation pattern. I identified that yesterday. It was just enough to get a reset on TD sequential and then counted on its way up here. So if you see here, let's take a look at TD sequential. You can see we went up to a 7, reset, back up to a 4, and then on a 7 again. So at this point in time, it looks like it keeps hitting up to like a 6 or a 7, and then kind of retracing and then consolidating. So if all goes well, the price comes down just a little bit lower, close to the support at 55, and if so, that's a fantastic place to take entry. So all good things here from Luna. I would expect this to continue just based on what I've seen so far. This is a very healthy continuation, and it's definitely something that looks like it's planning to continue. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set my alert at about 55. We'll go with 56 just to ensure we get kind of another look at that. But a lot of times what happens is when you break an all-time high, right here at 55, for example, it was an all-time high. When you break that high, the price comes down and tests it, right? So if we look at the 1 hour chart, we could probably see right here that the price, yep, it tested it for about 2 hours straight and then continued on. So all is well there in that sense. It basically kind of confirmed that as a support level. There might be a second test coming up here soon where the price will come down and bounce off of 55. That's a very strong likelihood. If it does, again, hopefully we can be poised and ready for that and then take a position to the upside, because just even this little bit right here is a good little 8 to 12%, right? So it's a nice little gain. ultimately very, very realistic here for Luna. So we'll pay attention to that, of course. Let's see what the cloud is telling us. And it does look like we're on good shape, of course. We got all qualifying factors. We got the price above the cloud, we've got the conversion line above the baseline, and we've also got the lagging span, essentially lagging behind, not touching any price action whatsoever. So this one always needs to be free and clear of any price, and this one needs to be above, this one below. Okay. That's essentially what we're looking at there. So all good things. So the cloud basically tells us we still have a green light to retain our position, to hold our position. And if the price comes down and consolidates closer to about $55, then that would be a great consideration to consider taking entry based on its history. I mean, look at this here. Every time it comes up to a resistance level, it breaks, comes down, tests the next available support. So if history repeats itself, it should definitely do this again here very soon. Okay. So looking good there for Luna. I'm definitely bullish on Luna at this point, and I think that we are in pretty good shape to see this continue. So let's go ahead and go with the best case scenario. Let's just say hypothetically Luna continues on in the same progression here and just hits the next levels. What we're looking at, because again, this is about 7th to the 30th. This is roughly about 3 weeks of trading data here. So it took 3 weeks for Luna to effectively, come back, if you will. Granted, yes, this increase occurred only 4 days ago, but this is roughly, a full 3 weeks worth of trading. So for lack of better terms, we could see this price of $72 be hit by Luna in the next 2 to 3 weeks. I think it's likely to see that price happen even sooner. That's just my personal opinion based on the way that it's progressing right now. And you can kind of tell it's definitely doing one of those things. So all in all, I like what I see here. It's doing very well. And I ultimately believe that we're going to be able to see this continue. So if all goes well, what you want to do is maybe consider adding to your position or dollar cost averaging right around $55, and then set your profit targets to just below the next major Fibonacci retracement levels. Because you can see here, like I drew this Fibonacci retracement level a while ago, and it broke the all-time high. Look at that. Look how perfect that is. It actually hit that exact same Fibonacci retracement level. So what I'm getting at here is that if you notice when the price comes up and hits the next fib line, it's hitting that line almost always to a T. So what would be the best practice there to set profit targets? Just below to ensure you get filled, okay? I have a lot of patrons, unfortunately, they try to set the profit targets just above, either ones that I recommend or just above Fibonacci retracement levels, and they don't get filled based on that sentiment alone. Now, granted, it's not 100%, but this is pretty consistent. You can see almost every single time a price comes up to a resistance level, it stops out right at the next Fibonacci retracement line. So that being said, that's kind of what we're looking at here for this. So again, set a target, get in at 55, and set a target at 59.50, just below that next major retracement level. Or perhaps the same thing as well for $62, just cut it just below. And instead of doing 72 even, make it 71 or 70, right? Now, always set 3 profit targets before you get into a trade. And obviously the best way to do that, I feel, is through trading bots. So maybe use 3 commas. We use Cornix as a community where I send out a signal and you can literally one-click follow to build the same type of parameters, right? Again, do what you want. You can learn as much as you can, of course, from these videos, but that trading community really helps kind of tighten things up a little bit. And just know there will be spots available tomorrow as of December 1st for that. So we do look forward to seeing you there, and obviously if not, that's cool. Thanks again for joining me here. I do really greatly appreciate your views, and feel free to like and subscribe if you found benefit here today. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.